You know, every single one of us has two versions of ourselves living inside. This isn't some sci-fi concept. It's about two different paths we can move toward every single day. One path leads to the person we truly want to become, the one who feels proud, who senses progress, and who goes to bed at night knowing the day wasn't just wasted. The other path leads to the version we try to run from, the one who always postpones things, who's their own harshest critic, and lives with that nagging thought, "I'll sort it all out someday." What's really important to get is this. Neither of these versions just appears overnight. Nobody wakes up one morning and is suddenly the best version of themselves. And, on the flip side, no one hits their lowest point in a single day either. It all starts with incredibly small things. Decisions so simple that we usually brush them off as no big deal. Think about it. Like right now, you could choose to scroll for a few more minutes on your phone. Or you could get up and finally do that thing you've been avoiding. You could choose to say what really needs to be said. Or you could stay silent. Just like last time, you could choose to take care of yourself or ignore your own needs. Like always, none of these individual choices will radically change your life on their own. And honestly, that's the trap. Because they feel insignificant, we repeat them again and again and again. And that repetition is what slowly shapes who we become. It builds our habits. It sets our direction. It creates momentum. The version of you that moves forward isn't some perfect, flawless superhero. They're not special. They are simply someone who chose to do the slightly harder, more meaningful thing a little more often. And the version of you that falls behind isn't a bad person. They're not lazy or weak. They just kept telling themselves later. I'll work out later. I'll start that project later. I'll change my life later. And then one day, they wake up and realize that later has turned into years. All those laters stacked up and became their life. The truth is, every single morning, both of these versions wake up with you. And every night, one of them goes to sleep just a little bit stronger. The stronger one is the one you fed throughout the day, the one you gave more attention to, the one you allowed to make more of your choices. We often think that real change requires one huge, life-altering decision. But most of the time, those big, dramatic decisions only exist in our minds. Real life changes through the accumulation of small, quiet steps, through choices so subtle that no one else even notices them. But you do. You notice, and there's one simple question that can change everything. Before you make your next small decision, before every tiny choice, just pause and ask yourself this: which version of me would make this choice right now? That question creates a gap. A moment of pure awareness, and maybe, just maybe, that tiny pause is the only thing separating a life that just passes you by from a life that you are actively, consciously building. We all have these two versions of ourselves. Neither of them is ever going to completely disappear, but we are the ones who decide which one gets to move forward. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when the conditions are finally perfect, because they never will be. It happens today, with the very next choice you make. Thanks for watching.